Good morning, people in the south, and good day, my people in the east, and my lovely people in the west. Good afternoon, and my friends in the north. Good evening. Back again. It's hot today. Yeah, it's quite hot. Temperatures are very high, and you need something to quench something, you need something to cool you down sometimes when temperatures are like this. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about something that is going to make a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs aware that there's you can do anything and everything by the book, but there's one thing that you need to know. It has to be done in your businesses. So you are innovating, you're building you're building your businesses, you're building your innovations, your business is growing. Sometimes your business is not growing or doesn't grow. We complain, we point fingers when it doesn't grow, we complain about the government, we complain about this and that. And at the end of the day, the business needs that one thing. Whether you complain or you don't, whether you like it or not, whether it's cold or hot, the business will always need that one thing. So that is the one thing that I'm going to be talking about today. And I think actually when I was in high school, my biology teacher used to we had a lot of double periods. I just don't remember if the double periods per subject were equal for the entire month, or some subjects had more double periods than the other. I just don't remember that, but we had a lot of double periods on biology. I loved biology so much. It's one of my favorite subjects is biology. You can't tell me anything regarding human physiology and anatomy. You can't tell me anything regarding animal reproductive organ, human reproductive, not reproductive organ, rather animal reproductive system and human reproductive system. Where am I now? Let me get myself together. Okay. I love this subject so much that I actually performed very, very well in biology. So one of the highest marks I got in high school, in matric, in grade 12, were in biology. At some point, I got so interested in biology that I wanted to go study medicine. At some point, I started to develop a love to continue this biology thing, but I had more love for engineering and other related, fields than biology. So biology was going to be my second option. But this is the point that I'm trying to make here. My biology teacher, who made it interesting for us, who made it one of our favorite subjects. Most of us, we love biology because of that guy. Our grade 11, grade 12 biology teacher, we moved with him from grade 11 to grade 12. Every time we had classes, he would teach, at the end of the session, he would give us a bit of motivation or a motivational talk of some kind at the end of his classes. Sometimes he would tell us where he started, how he grew into this education thing and so on. And there's one thing that I never forget that we learned from that guy. I never forget this, even today. That guy told us that when you live here, we were in matric, when you live here, be careful of, when you leave matric to go and start to live the outside world, things are going to be a bit different, and you must be careful of the difference between doing good things and bad things. Every bad thing that you do, you will always feel so nice, you'll always feel so fulfilled, you'll always feel so satisfied, you'll always feel you'll feel top of your world. The moment you are in any situation, when you live here, when you live matric, the moment you find yourself in any situation where you feel you're on top of the world, you feel you are fulfilling something in you, you're satisfied with a specific action, you should ask yourself question around that particular thing that made you to feel that way. Because everything that you do that doesn't take you anywhere makes you feel that way. It makes you feel fulfilled, it makes you feel excited, it makes you feel like you've reached you will reach a certain level of excitement, like you feel fulfilled and satisfied. You feel so should I say complete? You feel complete. You feel like, yeah, this is you feel nice, you know. You feel more like content with what you've just done. So he taught us to retrospect on that and look into whatever that made you feel that way, because everything you do that makes you feel that way, it's not taking you anywhere. If you do something now and you feel that way, you must know that whatever thing that you're doing that makes you feel that way is not taking you anywhere. He gave an example with smoking. Most of the students in grade 12 were smoking. Some had started drinking. And he gave an example with that when you smoke, you feel like you are the man. You feel like you've made it. You feel like you feel satisfied. You feel, you feel like you're untouchable, But that particular thing is not taking you anywhere. When you're drinking alcohol in the streets, and then, when you go around with girls and do this and that with girls, and you feel like you're a man, and it's not taking you anywhere. But every time when you do something that takes you somewhere, you're going to feel alone. You're going to feel like you're not going anywhere. You're going to feel like everybody's away from you. You're going to feel like people are detaching themselves away from you. You're going to feel like you are useless. You're going to feel like you are not progressive in life. You're going to feel all those negative things. Every time you do or you act on a certain activity and you feel that way, you must know this is what is taking me somewhere. You must know that this is what is taking me somewhere. Because anything that you do that doesn't take you anywhere will make you feel fulfilled. It will make you probably feel high. Anything that takes you somewhere to probably make you feel low. It will make you feel down. It will make you feel like you are being dragged back. Look out for that. Know the difference. That guy taught us that. I don't know if many of the guys that I went to the same class with still remember this, but I never forgot this, even today. So anything that I do, and I feel like it depresses me more, it drags me back, it discourages me. It doesn't feel like I'm doing something positive or progressive. I know this is the right thing. I know this is the thing that is taking me somewhere. So I just wanted to get that out of the way so that we can talk about what I want to talk about today. We can detail this thing that I want to talk about today. So today I want to talk about our patience in business, the patience that we need in business. Many entrepreneurs are suffering from this, and it's killing many of us. It's killing many of us in many ways because we end up giving up on our businesses because we are not patient enough. Because when we do things, we feel like we are not progressing. When we do activities in our businesses, we feel like we're not progressing. We're not getting anywhere. We're moving very slow. We're not moving at the pace that we anticipated. We're not moving as fast as we're supposed to. And we end up giving up because we're not patient. Our patience is very, very challenged when it comes to that. And business is not like that. Business requires a lot of your patience, a lot of it. So that is what I want to detail today in this episode. And I hope and believe many of you will be able to relate, and you will retrospect, revisit your thoughts, revisit your activities, revisit your plans, and bear this in mind, what I've just said about the good and the bad. The moment it makes you feel that way, you know you're going in the right direction. That's where you're supposed to be. That's the thing that you're supposed to be doing. So there's something that I picked up on social media recently this week. Some lady was talking about how first-time entrepreneurs don't understand the entire process of entrepreneurship. And she said something very profound. She said, your first business is not supposed to work. That's what she said. Your first business, it doesn't matter what, your very first is not supposed to work. So if you haven't had your first business, you must know whenever you're going to start your first business, you must have this in mind, that this first business is not going to work and it's not supposed to. Your first business, it's your first playground to test yourself, to test your patience, to test your capabilities, to test your strength. Someone calls this a tea bag kind of exercise. Your business is hot water. You are the tea bag. You throw yourself in that hot water. If you dissolve and change the color of the water, then it means you're not strong enough. You need a lot of strength. You need to gather some more strength. If you throw yourself in that hot water and the water doesn't change color, it means you're getting there. You're getting well cooked in this thing, in this journey. So your first business is not supposed to work. I agree with that lady. It's not supposed to work. It's your playground to test your strength. It's your playground to test your capabilities. It's your playground to test your patience. It's the playground to test your this is where you should be able to make mistakes. This is the space where you should be able to make mistakes. All your mistakes should be made during this phase when you introduce your first business. Your very first business. My first business, the very first that I officially started saying, yeah, now I'm in business. I was selling chickens. Like I said in my previous episodes, I was selling chickens. I started by selling chickens. Then I later sold chickens and eggs. So the very, very first was purely chickens. And it didn't work. It didn't work. It worked for the second time when I went for chickens and eggs and other things. So the first, very, very, very first one didn't work. I was selling chickens. That's where I was able to test my patience. I was able to test all of those things that I've mentioned. Didn't work. Failed. Your first business is not supposed to work. Your first business is a playground for you to fail. That's where you must be. You must go and practice how to fail, if I should put it that way. That's where you must go and play around with every piece of anything, do any activity, do whatever and fail and learn from that. That's your first business. But many of us, we don't understand this. Whenever it happens, we think this thing doesn't work, and we replace it, or we move, or we change, or we pivot, or we whatever. In most cases, we throw in the towel. Then we out. We go back to looking for jobs, prepare our CVs. We start going around on the recruitment sites, and we look for jobs, and we apply for jobs and stuff like that. Don't be surprised. It's quite hot outside, so I'm cooling myself down. I'm using the ancient type of yeah. So your first business, it's not supposed to work. Bear that in mind. It's not supposed to work. It's supposed to teach you something. You're supposed to learn from that, because that is the space where you are on your own. You're making your own decisions. You are responsible for your own money. You are your own lawyer. You are your own HR. You are your own IT guy. You are your own this and this and that. That's where you are going to learn how these things should be done. Another thing, as you do that, as you're learning, you need to understand. You need to understand the entire process of learning how a business should be conducted. So when you are in the space where you're practicing, and you're throwing yourself in there, you sort of subjecting yourself to failure by adopting the different types of environments in business, by building networks, by hiring and firing people, by changing your products and your packaging and whatever. That's your first business. As you do that, you need to also learn how a business should be conducted. The process of conducting your business. You need to learn that. So many businesses, many reputable entities and private businesses have failed, but they failed forward. They didn't show their failure, but they have failed. Go into their whatever financial statements or whatever that is, and find out. You'll see how much failure those businesses have gone through. You'll see how many tests those businesses have gone through. Go and check. You'll see they have failed. Many of them, they have failed. They have made blunders. They have the biggest blunders you can ever think of. Go and check. You'll see. But you won't see that because it's not out in the public. But go and research about how they got to be where they are now. As you see them, you will see what I'm talking about. Many entities, many private businesses that you see now standing and stronger, that participate and contribute to our economies, have failed big time. Have failed a lot of times. Let's take an example with Cell C. Those who know Cell C. Cell C, it's a cell phone network provider in South Africa. We first got introduced to Cell C in 2001, and that's when Cell C was established. And they first came into the space. They used their company corporate identity colors were red. They used red colors. Then they changed from red to black. Then they changed from black to orange. They are now on orange. So from 2001, they've changed their corporate identity 3 times, if I should call it that. They changed their corporate identity 3 times, from red to black to orange. They are now on orange. Celsi colors it's now orange. Established 2001. Let me tell you, Celsi only realized to see net profits in 2020. 2021 financial year. They only realized net profits for the first time since inception in the 2021 financial year. Just imagine, 20 years later, they've started to realize net profits of just over 2 billion rands. They just realized just over, I think it was 2.4 billion rands in net profits for the first time after 20 years. All along, we've been using Cell C, we've been buying data, we've been buying airtime, we've been buying merchants, we've been buying all of these things. We've been customers. My first cell phone, when I first got a cell phone, very, very first, it was a Siemens CC63, the one with an aerial. It had a Cell C SIM card. I had a Cell C SIM card. It was new. Cell C was new in the space. Go and check the first time they started to realize their net profits. 2021 financially. Just a couple of years ago. But it started 2001. The business started in 2001. No one, very few people know this. No one would believe that Cell C has been running for the past 20 years without realizing net profits. So, you need that patience. You need to understand this. You need to understand how important this is. Because when you build a business, you are building it's like a baby. You don't give birth to a baby today and she stands up and run. And when she gets to the traffic light, she waits for the green light. And when the green light goes off or on, then she passes and then she ran, or she runs across the street and then she gets into a store and then she buys something. No. For her to get to that level, she needs to understand that there's money. She needs to understand that there's colors. Green means this, yellow, how colors differentiates from each other. Before she does that, she needs to know that there's crawling. After crawling, then she will learn to walk and run. And before, she will learn, or he will learn about colors. Before she will learn that there's something called a traffic light and it works with different colors. She would have learned about colors in kindergarten, So when she gets to a traffic light, she knows when it goes green, then I must cross the street, That you don't. You need that patience. Just the same way we are patient with a baby when it's born. For the baby to grow, for the baby to go through all of that learning and understand the different types of colors and understand that there's a street, there's cars. If a car hits you, you will die. They will need to grow to understand those things. Your business is the same. There's no difference. So you need some patience. So there's this motivation that I once got back in 2004. I also live by this on a daily. I never forget this. Sometimes when I go through tough time, I use this motivation. I learned this from a motivational speaker called Dr. David Molabo. I'm mentioning him because he's in the public, so you can go Google him and see Dr. David Molabo. He taught us about a phenomenon that I never forget. He said, sometimes you need a night to see the stars. Tell me how powerful that is. Sometimes you need a night to see the stars. In actual fact, you cannot see the stars if there's no night. So you first need to see the night before you can see the stars. This applies in every situation in your business. So when it's time for the night to come, we think we are not progressing, we are going backwards. We remember the things that you do that makes you feel that way, they're taking you somewhere. There's a reason why there's a night. The night comes for you to see the stars. Stars are beautiful, but you can't see them during the day. So you need the night to see those stars. But when night comes, we run away. we disappear from our businesses, we throw in a towel, we give up, you know, we stop whatever that we were working on. We guys, ladies and gentlemen, we need to understand this. It's very important, very, very important. You can't run a successful business if your business has never seen a night, because you need the night to see the stars. You need the night to see the stars as much as your business needs the night to see the stars. So when your business goes through the night to see the stars, you will also go through the night to see the stars. From my previous episode, I was talking about how my pitch got affected by technology in Botswana. I rehearsed my pitch. I was ready. We had to present in front of, or to pitch in front of more than 150 people in Botswana. Technology, what do they call that place? Botswana Technology and Innovation Center. Yeah, we were in one of those big halls there. It's a beautiful space to be in. I like the design, you know, the way that place has been designed. Like you know, when you enter the place, you know you're entering. It's just that it was still under construction, so there was one part of it that was sort of completed, then one part that they were still busy with. So my slides got affected by technology, and they could not show on the screen. So to the judges and the people that I was pitching to, they could not see anything, and that was my night. And I couldn't win because it was the finals for the subject countries. So we were competing with other countries. I was representing South Africa, and it was the three of us. So me and the other guy could not win, but we had one winner. So a good friend of mine from KZN, his name is Landile. He came back with 40,000 pulas. The winner got 140,000 pulas. Number one got position one, got 140,000 pulas. So Landile got 40,000 pulas that we came back with. So we carried the check back to South Africa, and that was my night. I couldn't believe it myself. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know why, but there was a reason why it happened. So it was a night that I had to embrace and enjoy for me to see the stars. Let me tell you what happened after that. I got accepted by a program called Propeller, and then I went through the program. I think it was 3 months. Yeah, it was a 3-month program. Completed the program, and then I got in the top 3 in the country. They just couldn't give us the first, second, and the third position, but I got in the top 3. I also got accepted in a program called Global Clean Tech Innovation Program, GCIP, and this is after the night that I've seen in Botswana for me to see the stars. And then I got accepted in that program. Then for the entire South Africa, because GCIP is a global, like the name suggests, is a global program. So we have GCIP SA, which is GCIP South Africa. I got in the top 8 in the country, and that was one of the biggest milestones that I got from the night that I saw in Botswana. Those were the stars that I had to see, because there was a reason for the night to happen for me to see the stars. And as I continue with the story of the smart skipping, I will tell you more of what is happening and what happened after those 2 programs, the Propeller program and the GCIP program. And I just wanted to highlight that for you to understand that you really, really need the night in your business for you to see the stars for your business. You need to see the stars shining for your business. But for you to see those stars shining for your business, you need the night to come. And as the night comes, don't run away, don't despair, don't disappear, don't throw in the towel. You need to enjoy the stars for your business, because when the night goes away, that's when you start to realize the progress. Because everything else that you do that takes you somewhere. It's going to feel like it's going to feel like it's not progressive. It's going to feel like it's oppressing you even more. So that is one of the most important things that I've been living with. One of the most important motivation that I've been living with, that I've been gravitating on whenever I feel down. I gravitate on such motivation, and it keeps me going, and it kept me going since I started in business. Since I left my professional job, I've been in for 6 years, and I'm still here because when the night comes, I do not run away. I remain in the space, and as opposed to other people, probably there were people that I studied with at the same time. Some have left, some ran away, some left their businesses, because 6 months is enough for you to start seeing the night. And when people see that, they run away. So I'm quite sure that people that I studied with, they are now 5 years in their new jobs. They went back with their CVs to look for jobs because they couldn't stand the night, because they didn't understand why the night was there. Understand what I'm trying to say? So lastly, before I close, there's new programs that have been loaded on VC4A. You remember that I used to share support programs on VC4A. Go to vc4a.com and go through the list of support programs that are available. I've seen new ones that have been loaded. One of the new ones that I've seen is called D-Price. D-Price is for people that want to support social related events or social related problems that they want to solve. D-Price is there to assist. There's prize money that is available from D-Price. Go and check. The information is on vc4a.com, and make sure that you apply. Then your business will be able to be supported and carried through and see day of light. So don't forget to subscribe. There will be a pop-up here. Click on the pop-up and subscribe to this channel for you to receive new episodes when we load or upload, and then be informed, know something, and empower yourself. Grow your business capabilities in terms of knowledge, because knowledge is everything, every tool that you need for you to start picking up physical tools and start working. You need that first tool, which is your knowledge. With that being said, I will see you next week.